Hello YouTube and Twitch, Drakey C here, and this is the final Dissidia stream because I'd finished the world record off stream. I believe it was the Tuesday this week. The days blurred together this week, but yeah, I did it off stream. Off stream. I learned, like, when in the past when I've come close to my practice runs, record anyway, just in case, because you never know. And it happened. I did it, a sub 3-minute run. So I'm done with the Dissidia time trials overall. What I'm gonna do instead today is I'm gonna go go over the video again that's uploaded on YouTube, and just explain my strategy. So if anyone else wants to try and speedrun it, beat my record, go right ahead. I'm just gonna walk you through what I did and what I found works for me. So let's switch over to the video, and there you can see it. 253.76, and it should be a lot lower, but we'll get to that. So one thing that a lot of people have asked is, why Cloud? And Cloud has a couple things going for him that puts him above the other fighters. He has very powerful attacks, so he can quickly build up a lot of Brave. He has Brave to HP attacks that deal a lot of damage too. Braver and Cross Slash are good attacks. He can snipe with Meteor Rain if he has to. And he also has Fenrir. He gets his weapon, which gives him plus 30% Wall Rush HP damage, which adds up. When you're dealing massive hits and you're trying to kill opponents quickly, that bonus helps a lot. And even as Cloud, sometimes he struggles to get opponents' HP down within 2 hits. Other characters who don't have that HP bonus are going to struggle even more. And also he has the summon Rama, because there are 2 characters with summons in this run that can really screw you over. One is Sephiroth, who has Death Gaze. If your Brave has a multiple of 5, he will summon it and he will break you. And of course with the computer's timing, it'll be in the middle of a combo before you even have time to notice your Brave. Like before the screen even shows your Brave is a multiple of 5, the computer will activate it and break you, and you're screwed. And the other is Tidus, because he has Poo Poo, which will rapidly increase his Brave. Pardon me. So, now that being said, I killed Tidus and deplete his Brave so fast now, I don't even know if Poo Poo matters. But you do still need Rama for Sephiroth. If someone has a lot of patience to keep trying and fighting Sephiroth until they can beat him without Death Gaze going off, then Rama isn't necessarily needed. But that does get into the thing that I've tried doing runs with other characters, and I don't think in terms of moveset anyone is quite as well suited for time trial speedrunning as Cloud. The only one I can think with a comparable damage output is Jekt, and even a fully charged Jekt combo is not as powerful as Cloud's combos. And there's also Squall, but his HP attacks are much less reliable, and they also don't do Brave. Most of them, except for Blasting Zone, don't do Brave damage when he uses them. So he can't deal a fatal blow to an opponent with 1 HP. He has to wait for his Brave to recover a little. So I'm not saying it's impossible. You know, maybe someone way better than me with those characters will prove me wrong. I invite it. You know. But yeah, Cloud just has everything you need to want to rush opponents down fast. So that's why I used him, and I don't think anyone can come close to him in terms of practicality for this. So without further ado, we're gonna watch the video and go through each opponent and the strategies I found for them. So if you I clicked to restart. Yeah. So first is Sephiroth. Now, the first 2 opponents, I'm not sure why it's only the first 2. The first 2 opponents, you'll spawn in one of 3 random places in the arena. Sephiroth, you're in the World of Darkness, and you'll spawn at either end of the arena, and at one end you're further away from each other than at the other end, or you can spawn in the middle. The ideal place you want to spawn is in the middle, because there's the grind bars running through the center of the stage. The second you start, hit triangle to start grinding towards them. 9 times out of 10, Sephiroth will start grinding back towards you, and you can block him and attack him. Now, I didn't get that stuff, but you can still just dash towards him and hit him. Oh, okay. We were having a conversation before stream. Now, I pause here when Sephiroth goes down. I pause around the time Cloud says feelings, because Sephiroth is inconsistent on if he immediately counterattacks when he recovers, or if he waits a moment. Ideally, he'd counterattack right away, so you can block him and don't have to wait. But it's inconsistent, so I pause just to see what he's going to do and go from there. Since you're using in-game time, pausing does not matter. And then, second hit, there's the break. And he's down. And the phone's ringing. Okay, and pause, see if he does it. And there he goes. That is one thing that can be annoying. Like, I wait to block him before I go for Braver, or else he'll attack and hit you beforehand. And sometimes he likes to take his sweet time to attack before you can block him. You can Braver and hit him before he hits you, but it's risky. I play it safe. You can usually, depending on exactly how quickly if he counterattacks or not, and how quick he can do it, you can beat Sephiroth in well under 15 seconds.
My reality is mine alone.
Okay, X-Death. The 3 spawning positions for him were on the Lunar Subterrane. I got the best spawning position. Oh, pardon, the worst one. My mistake. Well, actually, no, I don't think this is the worst one. I once said this is the worst spawning position because I didn't have a strategy for it, but I figured one out. The other 2 spawning positions is you'll start on the ground opposite across from them on the low ground, or you'll start facing each other on the 2 circular mountains on the other side of the arena. And that's the one you want to start at, because when you start across from him on the 2 hills, he will always quick move towards you. And you just block him, hit him, and I jumped to, when I can't show it in this one, but when you block him, you want to move to the left and then hit him slashing blow and omni slash. And then you just want to dodge in place to bait him to teleport up towards you, so you can hit him again, and it should break him and put him at 1 HP, and then you'll still be in the air, and you can just Braver to finish him off. Now, I said this was the worst one. I don't think that's that way anymore. I think the worst one now is when you're on the ground across from him. Because try as I might, I have not been able to figure out a reliable way to rush him down when he's on the ground. There's no real safe way to approach him there. The best you can do is throw out fires to bait him into teleporting or blocking. But even then, it's not always easy to get a sneak attack, Clim Hazard plus dodge canceled and the slashing blow and omni slash. It works, but it's not optimal. And also sometimes, depending on what happens with the fire, if he blocks it, if he avoids it, whatever, sometimes the fire will hit him in the middle of the combo and knock him out of the omni slash. But here, I did find a reliable way to deal with him here. You do a Clim Hazard as he starts to walk off. Sometimes he'll walk to the side, sometimes he'll come at you. Point is, he's going to try and walk off the cliff. Do Clim Hazard, it'll bait him into blocking or teleporting. And at that point, you just jump behind him and nail I didn't jump behind him there, but you just jump behind him and nail a sneak attack and do a full slashing blow. And then you land another slashing blow with a sneak attack, and that'll do it. I got lucky here. I'm not ashamed to admit that. X-Death is a character you can freestyle with a bit, because depending on where you start with him, you have to change up your strategy. You can't really approach him well because it's X-Death. You try and attack him when he's ready for you. He will block you. He will slam his sword into your face or whatever. But so as long as you can beat him in a timely manner, whatever works, just kill him. The one thing that is annoying with him is he has a second chance build. So when he gets a critical HP, he has a very high chance that whatever finishing blow you deal with him will leave him with 1 HP instead. But it's not always certain, so don't count yourself out until he's dead, or until second chance procs. Because I've had runs where I got him to 400 HP, nailed the blow, there goes second chance, oh, it didn't go off, and I killed him, no problem. Okay. RNGesus giveth and RNGesus taketh away. And the other thing with him is, I mentioned freestyling. Sometimes I let myself get hit with the HP attack. Or I do get hit by accident, but I'm still able to recover because, hey, he hit me with an HP attack, his Brave is sapped now, I can break him easily. Usually when he hits me, it's with Almagest or Delta attack, and you can easily close the distance on him and hit him again. Time to aim for X-Death is well under 35 seconds max. If you're really quick and you got a good Sephiroth, you can beat him in under 30. Cloud is an annoying opponent in this run, because he's a bit random. You'll see here I dash towards him to start, and what he does from there, sometimes he moves away and does Clim Hazard, sometimes he moves away and does Slashing Blow, or some other attack, sometimes he runs away and jumps, sometimes he'll block you, and sometimes he'll just attack right away. So Cloud's a bit random, you just gotta be ready for him. And he's also an annoying character because you need precision here. You do Clim Hazard, and now you have to dodge cancel just so you can nail the sneak attack and keep up the first strike bonus. Because every hit from Slashing Blow and Omni Slash here has to be a critical hit. Has to be. Because you'll see now, he has 118 HP left. With every attack a critical hit in that combo, 118 HP. Braver does 100 brave damage on its initial hit, and then 20 on the hit after. And when he's low on the ground, you're only going to get one extra hit. So he is just weak enough that Braver will kill him. If you don't get a critical hit, Braver isn't going to kill him, and probably Cross Slash isn't either. Cross Slash does around 2 hits of 100 damage. So if he had 200 HP left, maybe. But if you miss one critical hit, odds are you're going to miss more than one critical hit. So very, very precise there. You got to nail the full critical hit combo from First Strike and the block and Slashing Blow. And you also want to try and position yourself as I did, so that when Cloud dives down after Omni Slash, you land on the ground opposite him. If you don't position yourself right, you'll land on the ledge above him. You want to land on the ground in front of him, so when he recovers, he will immediately try to attack like he does there, block, and Braver. If you land on the platform above him, it's not a big deal. You know, just go down, don't let him get away, he'll start running around the arena. Cloud's a bit odd. Upper tier time to beat him is 45 seconds. If you're really quick, you can beat him in 40. And the times are going to get a little looser from here, because, you know, error from the other fights changes everything. Tidus is a freebie. Excuse me. Cold weather today. Ugh, allergies acting up. So Tidus, you just want to wait for him to come to you. I use Rama because again he has poo-poo just in case. Block him and Clim Hazard and Slashing Blow and Omni Slash. And you want to try and hit him from behind to push him back towards the center of the arena to ensure that both you and him land on the platform. If you hit him from the sides, it's plausible that you or him will go off to the side. And then you have to go down and find him, and the camera gets screwy with the platforms, and it's just a pain sometimes. And also, because his attacks have a fast startup, you could easily just Braver before he gets him out and save yourself like a split second. Honestly, I mentioned at the start, I don't think there are any other characters. Cloud just has everything. He has the high damage output, he has very usable, very reliable HP attacks and Brave to HP attacks. He has Rama to seal Death Gaze and Poo-Poo on Sephiroth and Tidus, and he has Wall Rush HP damage bonus from Fenrir. So he just has all the advantages you need to rush people down. I tried a couple trials with Jekt, and because I figured in terms of damage output, Jekt would probably be the best, but Jekt just couldn't match him. And Squall also has high Brave damage output, but then come his HP attacks, which are not so reliable. I can just imagine, struggling to get the HP finishing blow with Squall. And also, Squall's HP attacks, except for Blasting Zone, don't do Brave damage, so he can't break an opponent with them. He has to do a Brave combo and then an HP attack. And now Terra. Terra starts with low HP already, so one hit will kill her. You want to dash forward and quick move after her. She will always quick move away. You dash after her. You don't want to do a full dash because then you'll overshoot it and you can't quick move. You quick move towards her and she'll do one of 3 attacks. She'll do Blizara or Holy, in which case you dodge them and hit her with Slashing Blow into Omni Slash, or she'll do Meteor, and if you are quick enough to get towards her in time, you'll be in range and you can just brave her and hit her and kill her right there in seconds. I'll just like rewind a second here. See, like the total time for this fight when it was 53. And it's over in 5 seconds. The braver kill is what you want to aim for Terra. Hope she does Meteor and you can land the braver on her to kill her easily. And now it's time for the real boss of this speedrun. Jekt. So Jekt, of course, if you just follow tier lists or matchups or anything, you know Jekt is a bad matchup for Cloud. He can and will Jekt block anything you throw at him and punch you in the face for it and laugh at you. He's Jekt, he's an asshole. There's also the problem that his attacks come out very quick, so it's hard to block them when he doesn't charge them. And when he does charge them, well, they're charged. You can't block them then anyway. You can try and dodge behind them to get them there, but it's tricky. And the other problem is the build he has. He has an EX Force to Brave build, and he will always absorb EX Force. And he also has the accessory that protects him from a break during a combo. Not from single hits. So if you deplete his Brave enough that your next attack startup would break him, then that'll break him. But like if you're doing an Omni Slash against him and deplete his Brave to 0, then it won't break him. So he is annoying. What I found works best for him is throw out a fire to bait him to Jekt block, then try and nail him with Flim Hazard, then slashing blow from behind into Omni Slash, knocks him down, does a fair bit of damage, and if you're lucky with your critical hits, it will proc the Valor Chance combo. And from there, throw in another fire to bait him. It's weird, he doesn't always block the fires reliably. There, and then you hit him again, and unfortunately, I also forgot to mention on top of that, he has stuff that resists wall rush HP damage. So you can see Cloud is not doing as much wall rush damage as he should. Against any other opponent, they'd be at 1 HP now. So Jekt's going to take another full combo. And I flat got lucky nailing that. The top tier time you want to aim for Jekt, worst possible scenario, 145. But as you get good at fighting him, and if you get a little lucky, like I got super lucky. This is the best Jekt I've ever had. I actually took a screenshot during the victory animation because I couldn't believe it. 122 Jekt. So if you get as you get used to him and get lucky, you can get well under 140 or 135. The more time you save on Jekt, the better, because the opponent's after him. You're in the home stretch. Ultimisha is a little finicky. There's a very small but very important thing you have to do at the start of the fight. And that is move to the left. That is what makes the difference. Because what I used to do against her is hit her with slashing blow into Omni Slash, and she will always attack right away as she recovers, but you can get Sonic Break in before and Finishing Touch. Now if you don't move to the left, what's going to happen is that when you do Finishing Touch, you're going to slam her past the ground and into the Banish Trap. And you just missed out on several thousand wall rush HP damage, and your run is screwed. But if you move slightly to the left and then do the Slashing Blow Omni Slash, she'll be positioned so that when you do the Finishing Touch, she will hit the ground. And she's at 1 HP and you just need to land the Braver. Her Knight's sword is a bit annoying, and she also tends to sometimes block or dodge at the start, but it usually doesn't waste too much time as long as you recover quickly. It is just a matter of make sure you hit her in a way that she's close to the inside of the platform, so after when you do Sonic Break into Finishing Touch, she hits the ground and doesn't go flying into a Banish Trap. Cloud of Darkness. She annoyed me for a long time, because Omni Slash knocks the opponent down to wall rush them into the ground. That's a problem because we're on the planet's core. So there's not a lot of solid ground to wall rush her into, and trying to take the fight down to the middle platform would waste time. But what I did find is, First, you move towards her about here. It will always bait her into a tentacle attack. Block it. Do a full slashing blow and knock her up. Knock her upward. You want to hold up on the analog stick to make sure you hit her up instead of down like slashing blow usually does. Dodge cancel up towards her. She'll sometimes do Wrath Particle Beam. If you've watched my runs, you've seen that happen. Sometimes she'll do Fusillade, or here she did Zero Form. Just hit her and Omni Slash her. And because you knocked her up, you're high enough up now that now she will reliably hit the wall, as long as you're knocking her back in the general direction of the wall. Of course, if you're knocking her towards the center of the arena, that's not going to work. But there, you hit her, she's at 1 HP, and I got unusually lucky here, and she was just flat cooperative and let me get the Braver for the final blow. But that's all there is to it. You just gotta make sure you hit her up so you have that extra room to hit her into the wall. If you don't hit her up, then when you do Omni Slash, she'll go down into a Banish Trap. Zidane will always quick move on the railing to start, so jump to the left, block him to stagger him, and then you want to do another slashing blow and hold up to knock him into the ceiling. Now depending on the angle you hit him at, you'll either hit him into the ceiling above the Esper capsule, or you'll hit him into the ceiling in the corner. He doesn't do this as reliably when you hit him into the corner, but when you hit him above the Esper capsule, he will very reliably counterattack with his downward swooping attack. And you can pretty easily dodge up behind that, nail him, and there you go. And he's at 1 HP. Sometimes he'll counterattack right away when he recovers, which is why I paused here. But if he doesn't, just wait for him to attack again, block, and there you go.
What? This can't be.
That was a joke.
And now comes the final opponent, Chaos. Now this is why I say the time is important, because you see, Chaos, if you do things perfectly, Chaos each round will take 10 seconds or so. A little over 10 seconds. So, I made a couple mistakes in the fight. I had a screw up on Ultimisha. Zidane could have counterattacked right away and let me block him to kill him quicker. Sephiroth could have let me hit him quicker. Could have maybe saved time on X-Death. Overall, is a sub 230 run possible? Yes. But you would have to be ridiculously lucky. This speedrun is not a matter of skill. It really is a matter of luck. Luck of the AI cooperating with you. Luck of you starting in the right positions. Luck of you landing the right critical hits. If you've watched my other runs, you know there's been times where just I didn't land a critical hit that I should have, and for it, what could have been a fatal blow is not a fatal blow now. A critical hit will mean that you don't hit the Valor Chance combo on Ject, so you can break him. A missed critical will mean that you don't get X-Death to 1 HP, so Second Chance will save him. Missed criticals on Cloud, like I said, you'll need to do a full combo against him, and that'll waste a couple seconds. If you're really unlucky with criticals on Sephiroth, he'll have enough HP that you'll need to do cross slash instead of Braver, and that wastes an extra second or two. So it really is down to pure dumb luck. Not to mention, of course, whatever the AI wants to do. If the AI doesn't feel like being cooperative, like Ultimisha, if she's going to do Knight's Axe versus Knight's Arrow or Knight's Sword, and their charged versions or not, that's going to affect how you can attack her and if you land the hit or not. But if you are really lucky and also really, really patient, sub 230 should be possible. I'm not going to try it. I got sub 3. I'm done. I have other things I want to do now with my time. I am proud of this, though. The stars finally aligned. And it is lucky that I made it to Chaos in a record time. You saw I took the screen cap again, because I'm like, Chaos just over 2 minutes. Holy shit. This is far and away the best I've ever had. The best I've had before was like 2:12. And it's a good thing I had that spare time, because I really screwed up this Chaos fight. Like, right off the bat, it went off the rails. I was lucky I had so much time to burn here. I don't know how that slashing blow there hit. The ideal strategy with Chaos, I said you can kill him in under 10 seconds or so. I don't actually get that kill until the third round, which ironically is usually when I don't get that kill, because he gets more unpredictable in the third round. But yeah, it comes down to you want to dodge over the fire wave. He will always start the round, every round with the fire wave. Dodge over it, do a full slashing blow, and dodge cancel up towards the throne into the air. That'll bait him into dashing towards you, block him, slashing blow into cross slash, and then when you land, braver to end. Now, sometimes you saw it happen there. Sometimes when he dashes towards you, he'll stop and do his spinning attack beforehand. And in this case, you just gotta block continuously. Here is where I get the quick kill. And he's down. And he's dead. Again, just replay that. You see, it started 243, ends at 253, so it's just slightly over 10 seconds if you do it well. But that said, again, this is where RNGesus and luck come in, because when Chaos lands after the Omni Slash, who knows what he's gonna do? He might do Condemn, which is actually dangerous because it'll do HP. It won't do HP damage because he's broken, of course, but it'll knock you into the air. And it'll set his brave to 0 while your brave is still recovering from the big HP hit. So he might break you if you're unlucky there. Also on landing, he might do the fire wave attack. He might do divine punishment. I've had a run where he does his teleporting uppercut attack in the second and third round and gets out of there before braver can hit him. And in the third round, if he does his melee slashing combo on the ground when he recovers, the fire waves will hit you before braver can. So you're relying on Chaos being cooperative, and Chaos gonna Chaos. He's not gonna be cooperative a lot of the time. But a lot of this is trying to get the AI to be cooperative. Sometimes I can do it. Yeah, I've explained a lot of ways that they will reliably react to my strategies. But sometimes they just don't want to do it. Like, there are very few things in this speedrun I can say with 100% certainty the AI will always do. And that's about Terra quick moving away from you and Zidane quick moving on the railing. But other than that, it's not always easy to predict the AI. Like even Sephiroth grinding on the railing, sometimes he won't. Tidus will sometimes counterattack when he gets up and you gotta block him quickly. He usually doesn't, but sometimes he does. Jekt sometimes. Sometimes he'll use a normal block on fire, sometimes he'll Jekt block the fire, sometimes he'll jump and Jekt block the fire. Sometimes he'll mistime the block and will get hit by the fire. Dunno. The AI is just unpredictable and random. It is waiting for the stars align and RNGesus to smile on you. And he smiled on me this run and I got my sub 3 at last. But again, if I had a much better Chaos, I could have gotten a 230 something easily. And again, with a lot of luck and faster times on the other fights, you could squeeze out a sub 230 run. But I'm not going to be the person to do it. I'm hanging up the towel for this for now. I have other things I want to do. So on that note, switch back here. What are my future stream plans? Well, obviously, there's this big thing next Wednesday you may have heard of. A couple people have talked about it, Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. I'm going to be streaming that every weekday until I finish. Tentatively, it's going to be 2 to 8 every weekday starting on Wednesday. I say tentatively because on the one hand, I've never streamed for 6 hours before. On the other hand, when I've been streaming before, I've been trying to speedrun a game. You know, now I'm just playing Final Fantasy VI, and that's a labor of love. I will play that for hours. And the reason I'm going to be streaming it every weekday is because I'm not going to be able to stream just once or twice a week. I want to play through it in my off time. I want to play through it and enjoy it. And I'm not going to be rushing through it either. I want to savor it. I've done ROM hacking for the game. I wrote a lot of the FF6 content on the Final Fantasy wiki was written by me researching the game and looking into stuff. So I'm going to lovingly go over that game with a fine-toothed comb. I know all the little details. I want to see what they did with them. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. After Final Fantasy VI, and as far as streaming goes, I don't know. Because Final Fantasy VI, of course, it's going to be a big event. I'm hoping I'll get a lot of people watching, because I know this is very niche, speedrunning a 10-year-old game, you know. Some people are going to tune in, but it's not going to draw crowds. Final Fantasy VI will draw crowds, I hope. So, you know, maybe I'll explode as a streamer, and I'll want to stream more often. I'm thinking, like, maybe stream, like, Wednesdays and Fridays, or Fridays and Saturdays, or, you know, 2 times a week. But we'll see what happens. But if I do keep streaming, there's 2 games I want to stream next. I'm not sure which one I'll stream first, but I am going to stream both. One is Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. I'm not the biggest fan of Final Fantasy V, but watching Untitled play it, I remembered how damn fun the gameplay is. Final Fantasy V's job system really is great. So I want to replay the game again, just to experience the gameplay again. I remember it also had a pretty good challenge level, and also see how well it's aged, because a friend of mine who's working on the script now is like, these characters have no personality or growth whatsoever. Those are his words, not mine. We'll see if I feel different. And I also want to know, I think they have an updated script in some places, so like, are the pop cultural jokes and references they made in 2005 still funny in 2022? I doubt it, but we'll see. And the other game I have that I'm going to be streaming is World of Final Fantasy. I wanted to play that for a while. That game is so fucking adorable. If you have not seen the ending of World of Final Fantasy, search it right now after this stream. It is the cutest damn thing you have ever seen. And I'm being completely serious. There's been days where, like, I'm just in such a bad mood. I'm just not having a good day. And I put on I purposefully seek out World of Final Fantasy ending, and I can't help but start smiling and laughing because it is so damn I'm gonna mute it just because I don't want a DMCA, but let's turn it up here. Well, no, I won't mute it. This is so damn adorable. I can't help but smile and laugh at this. It's so precious. It's a Final Fantasy chibi dance party ending. Yes, please. But seriously, this game looks so cute. The gameplay system looks interesting. And also, everything I've seen about the game in terms of story, I want to know more about this. Like, apparently Edgar runs Figaro Castle, but it's a combination of Figaro Castle and the D-District Prison and Midgar with a Mako reactor under it. So, I want to see that. There's some sort of plot involving Terra and summoners, because Terra's not a summoner but has a connection to summons, and they want to, like, exploit that for something. I want to know what's going on with that. There's some mysterious past with the protagonists that sound interesting. I won't spoil if you know... But what I know a little bit. I know bits and pieces of the story, but like everything I see about this game looks cool. Like there's Celis and Cloud plan to put on an opera together, and they're looking through this library and are interrupted by Ultros crashing the party. And like everything I see about this game, it looks so cute. The story seems interesting, and I just want to know I just want to know more about this game. The bits and pieces I've seen of it through my research for lore of Final Fantasy and just YouTube, I really like what I see. So, I'm looking forward to playing this at last. So that is the plan. Final Fantasy VI streaming every day starting next Wednesday, 2 to 8. The stream is already scheduled. Go set a reminder if you haven't already. And after that, either Final Fantasy V or World of Final Fantasy. I may do a poll when I reach the end of Final Fantasy VI. And at the same time, I may switch to streaming twice a week. When and if I do, we'll see. But that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you everyone who tuned in on my speedrun attempts. The support was great. I love chatting with you guys also when we got chatting. I hope to see everyone here for Pixel Remaster streams next week and all the streams beyond. And that's all I have to say. So once again, thank you for coming out. I finally did it. Sub 3-minute Dissidia speedrun. I washed my hands of this madness. It took a long time, but I finished it just in time for Final Fantasy VI, and I'm proud of that. I've submitted it to speedruns.com. Hopefully it'll be verified. And it's not as impressive as you think, holding the world record on it, because they created the category for me. No one has tried to speedrun it before, which is a little surprising. You'd think it's a time trial mode. Of course people would try and speedrun it. Not Dissidia. Don't know why. But yeah, so I'll be able to have that posted hopefully within the next month or so. It takes like a couple weeks for them to verify stuff. That's all I have to say. Thanks for tuning in, and go watch the full version of this ending, 'cause